All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Dark
Season 1, Episode 3.
Oh,
Okay.
1986.
Yeah, officially got some Back to the Future nonsense going on. You met your parents. Okay.
Right.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. And that isn't you
That
in the present.
isn't necessarily you.
Not necessarily, probably.
Could
I'm
be.
guessing. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
there's some crazy stuff the show is putting down here.
Indeed.
One, in a lot of ways, the time travel is the simplest part of it. Two,
Sure.
the part that's the most freaky about this is it seems like a lot of people might know about this.
right.
And the universe hasn't imploded.
Uh-huh.
At the very least, the people in the nuclear power plant facility seem to know about it. And now it's
Yeah.
starting to seem a little bit odd that it's, closing down in
Right.
the future present at such a close time. And all these things seem to be happening on a cycle, given that what happened with Ulrich's younger brother times, nicely in with where Mikkel and when Mikkel went. Because, when is Mikkel, not where.
Right. And that person knew that, and they decided to write that in a room where nobody else was, just
Right.
for themselves. Like
Yeah.
it was just a cathartic thing, inside joke, maybe.
Yeah,
But
and then we have Jonas, who is seeing even more things now, ended
Yep.
up finding a map of the tunnels for the caves.
which is now making
Whoa.
his dad's death seem a little bit more suspect.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Not necessarily that, he didn't, he died the way that he died, but why?
But why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, very, very interesting. Very fun stuff. Let's see how this unwraps. But all in all, the previous episode was pretty chill.
Pretty chill.
Pretty chill. So,
Actually, relatively chill.
so I'm holding on to my butt for this episode because...
Yeah, because these seasons are short, so
These
there's a
seasons are
lot
short.
that they can pack into one episode.
Exactly. And I get the feeling it's not going to be another chill episode. I feel like 2 chill episodes in a row is not this show's style.
No, definitely not. Especially not with the apocalyptic birds falling out of the sky at the end, kind of.
That was
moment
that
there.
was a
With
thing
the
that happened.
Questionable EMP maybe going off as well at the same time.
Right.
So is that someone getting time traveled? Maybe with the facility's assistance in some way?
Who knows?
Who knows? But yeah, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. Ah, yes, the 80s.
Wow.
Amazing. Now I want to find this ad and see if it's actually real.
Right.
Because it probably is. It probably is
sure.
easier for them to, find an existing ad than make up their own.
So,
Yeah, they just left, so you might have an empty house and you can hop in here. Oh, that's got to be so eerie.
oh yeah.
Because the layout would be almost exactly the same, probably.
Yep.
Mama?
Oh my god, that would be...
Wer bist du? Wo sind meine Eltern?
Damn.
That would be a nightmare.
Okay, yeah. So he didn't even recognize that those people were his parents.
Uh-huh.
Sie tun mir weh.
Was machst du hier? Nun sag doch was!
Okay.
Wann kommt alles zurück?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it really
All
is a
right.
vicious cycle.
And so, okay, it already happened, so he's not going to necessarily find anything out about that.
But the thing is, it probably, just happened. If
Right.
we're going in
Just-
cycles here...
Just long enough that she's been able to, realize, oh my god, he's truly missing and be desperate.
Right,
But
right.
not
So-
long enough that it's an old wound or anything.
Right. Less than a week.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
not a
right,
day, you know?
within the same month.
Yeah, for sure. Ooh, past and present. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Inside the facility. Or is this in the
Shoot.
past?
I can't see the name. Damn it.
Kannst du heute auch die Nachtschicht machen? Frau Schüttlers Tochter hat Fieber und ich muss den Benny um 6 zum Fußball fahren. Ich dachte nur, du hast ja keine Verpflichtung.
Wait.
Oh, okay, this is in the past.
Sagst du bitte nicht zu Dr. Reimann?
Oh.
Verschlossen und versiegelt.
Danke.
Let's refer to the app. Conwald family. Ah, yeah, that's Jonas's family.
Okay.
Conwald family, okay.
Is that Charlotte? Oh, shit. Dead birds then, too. Okay. Oh, man. So she found that back then. And then she just walked out the building in the present, and they're just everywhere.
Oh! I mean, she's a sweet girl then, but like...
I mean, that bird's dead.
5. November 86.
Ah,
Nach dem
okay.
mysteriösen Verschwinden eines 11-jährigen Jungen in der Kleinstadt Winden vor mehr als 4 Wochen
4 weeks ago.
In October, yeah.
Behörden im
A
Erlaubnis.
month.
Der Fall wirft einige Rätsel auf.
Sure, so we have a detective here who's kind of, dealing with the same kind of...
Yeah.
I love it. Rubik's Cube in front of him. Kind of got the puzzle.
That he can't fix or can't solve, yeah.
Brand im Schweizer Chemiekonzern Santos vor 4 Tagen spitzt sich die Lage auf den heimischen Gewässern.
Oh, info.
Konnten im Rhein vermehrt Giftstoffe
Bin
nachgewiesen
unterwegs.
werden. Umweltorganisationen
While driving.
Diesen gilt es, sich den eigenen
Impressive.
Ängsten zu stellen, denn die Zukunft
Is she working on a presentation?
Yeah, like a speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why she's speaking it out loud.
wieder aus. So kannst du doch nicht zur Schule gehen. Manchmal glaube ich, du hast überhaupt keine Vorstellung von dem, was ich mache. Essen, Kleidung, Fechtunterricht.
Hey!
Und du schaffst es noch nicht mal, dir die Haare zu kämmen. Schau dich
Curls
doch
are
mal an,
gonna
sitzt da wie
curl.
so ein Schluck Wasser
Yeah.
im
Okay, it's the 80s. That's the style now, right?
Riesending für mich und ich lass mir das von dir nicht versauen.
This song, too. Ah, we still listen to it. It's amazing.
All right. Let's go. Teen movie. Sure. He's just like, okay, I'll go to school. Because that's what he normally does.
Right.
I love the detail of his hair being so fundamentally different from everyone else's.
Yeah.
Everyone else has 80s hair and
Yeah. All over.
Der Hammer. Weißt du, worum es bei dem Lied geht?
Sharing mixtapes, yeah.
yeah.
Papa sagt, Lippenstift ist nur was für Prostituierte. Und überhaupt finde ich Nino D'Angelo viel besser als Falco.
Mensch, Hannah, du bist so alt wie der Wald.
Ach komm, Katharina, jetzt sei nicht so gemein.
Wow. Seeing all these characters, but now they're like young and everything.
Such meine Mama.
Das ist hier nicht der Kindergarten.
Die ist die Direktorin.
Herr Hubert? Der ist vielleicht eine Schwuchtel, aber ganz bestimmt keine Frau.
Jeez.
Ein bisschen zu jung verästet?
Habt ihr jetzt Geschi?
Damn.
Okay, so she's giving the presentation at the actual facility. Okay.
Okay.
And she's talking about time.
Yeah, but in a much more general sense than what they're probably interested in.
Erster Tag als Chefin heute.
Oh,
Mein Vater hat mir
Boss.
erzählt, dass der Vorstand einstimmig für dich gestimmt
Oh, okay.
wow.
hat. Gewusst, dass aus dir mal was wird.
Helge.
Und ich hab...
I'm in a bit of a rush.
Oh.
Das ist ein Buch.
Danke.
Oh,
Oh, look at those
scars.
scars, yeah.
Yeah.
Bin spät dran. Was los?
They look more like burns, too.
Wir stehen alle hinter dir, klar.
Oh, shooting his stars, you know?
Yeah,
like-
yeah,
like-
exactly. Oh, okay.
Whoa.
All right.
So hatte ich die Viecher.
Whoa.
Und dann das.
Oh. Oh.
Vielleicht ein Wolf.
No. Are you kidding me?
Bissspuren. Nichts.
Yeah. 200
Military.
wolves, maybe.
Oh, so this was the guy at the desk.
Sache mit dem Jungen und jetzt das hier. Das hätte es hier früher nicht gegeben. Wer tötet denn einfach 33 Schafe?
Are there any other sheep alive?
Seht zu, wachet und betet. Denn sie wissen nicht, wann die Zeit kommt.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Nicht, dass Sie Kirchgänger sind.
Wir haben einen neuen Pfarrer in der Gemeinde. Guter Mann.
Well,
See, birds make sense to me. They operate on like a lot of things that allow them to actually stay aloft.
right.
But sheep, that's super
Yeah.
specific.
Well, and with birds, it's also, there's a reason why it wouldn't affect the people because they're up in the air, right?
Nicht fassen, dass wir eine Frau im Chefsessel haben.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
Sind Sie sicher, dass es die richtigen Zahlen sind?
Ja.
This is a massive printout, too.
Yeah.
She only read the first like 2 or 3 pages.
Right. I love that this is the 80s. We don't have digital. It's, here's a gigantic stack of paper.
Ah, you bungled it. Oh, no, that's good, okay. Or maybe he did. Those things are so
Let's see.
finicky. Have you ever typed on one?
No.
Yeah, I got the opportunity to, like, long time ago. It's really fun.
Der Ulrich Nielsen?
Arbeitet ihr denn nicht hier?
Nein. Und das wird er bestimmt auch nie.
Oh, maybe it's a junior-senior thing.
Well, that,
Das ist ein Witz. Ist das auf Ulrichs Mist gewachsen?
no, it's the, I've probably, had trouble with him before.
I don't think so. Because he's not questioning the, like, you're too,
Well, he's thinking it's a joke. Oh.
Mikkel,
Weiter?
Nielsen. Ich bin Ulrichs Sohn.
Du sagst mir jetzt, wie deine Eltern wirklich heißen und dann bring ich dich nach Hause.
Oh, wait. Maybe this is a Nielsen. And this is Grandpa.
Welches Jahr?
1986.
1986.
Yeah.
He's like, oh boy. That newspaper wasn't wrong. It wasn't just some weird thing.
Oh.
Tiedemann. Ich habe hier einen verletzten Jungen.
This guy's name is Tiedemann. Okay. Wait, Tiedemann, that's, which family is that?
Komm, um dich abzuholen und sich um das zu kümmern. Und ich kümmere mich in der Zeit um Ulrich.
Okay.
Tiedemann is which family?
Oh, Tiedemann is suit at the from the
Oh.
yeah
Oh.
plant guy.
Okay.
But he'd be
much younger.
He'd be much younger, so
So he could be like a teen or something,
Rettung des Kernkraftwerks übernimmt. Das war selbst für die 80er progressiv.
Ich habe für sowas heute keine Zeit. Du kannst bei meiner Sekretärin einen neuen Termin machen.
Oh. Well.
Ich dachte, wir haben das geklärt.
Yeah, you overstepping yourself, yeah.
Vielleicht.
all right.
Ooh. Spicy.
Nice.
I'm the answer to the puzzle.
Yeah.
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 Kein Anschluss unter dieser Nummer. Bitte
Right.
rufen Sie die Auskunft an.
Yeah. Numbers would be very different.
All right, so you've got some time to yourself. Process this.
Uh-huh.
You should be good for shelter.
It's scary because he could prove potentially some things
Oh yeah.
about the future.
Okay.
All right.
All right. In case you need warmth, he needs to make a fire out in the woods or something.
But he's a lost kid. They're not going to abandon him into the...
No, I think he's starting to realize he can't trust these people, and he might need to figure things out on his own. Because they won't believe him, and so.
Wild.
Right. Oh.
Jetzt ins Krankenhaus.
Oh.
All right. Okay.
Hallo?
Someone's jamming. Actually feels really dull and quiet. Is it coming from the basement?
Maybe. Yeah, if it was from... Might be from the floor up, but...
Yeah, it is. Oh. Nice. The no future thing was the same thing written at the nuclear power plant.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Junge, den du geschickt hast. Findest du das lustig?
Welcher Junge?
Glaub ja nicht, dass du damit durchkommst.
Haben wir schon wieder gesoffen?
Wie bitte?
Ob sie schon wieder gesoffen haben?
Wer glaubst du eigentlich, wer du bist? Ich will genau wie du. Das
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
ist das.
Ein Huf. Das sieht man doch.
Machst du das auf der Wiese?
Welche Wiese?
Hast du die Schafe getötet?
Wenn du dir nicht den ganzen Tag dein Hirn wegsaufen würdest.
Oh.
Dann wäre Mats vielleicht schon wieder hier.
Herr Tiedemann.
Yeah, and this is our grandma, yeah.
Offen.
Wegen Mats. Er hat ja den Schlüssel.
That's impressive. She looks so similar. Like,
Teenagers be teenaging.
it's crazy to think that he also does end up becoming the replacement, you know?
Right.
Basically.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Was ist passiert? Und den Namen, den willst du uns auch immer noch nicht verraten?
Oh. No, he is.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, you have to believe me.
All right.
I love it now because this is going to be a recorded thing in actual files. Now, it might not exist anymore.
Right, and if they don't believe him, they might not actually put that name down.
Right, exactly. But, you know, you've got to put what the patient puts down. You can't not, you know, like, put it in, you know?
Ich weiß vielleicht wieder gut.
No, this is so scary.
Yeah, it's like, you say that, but it won't.
Right. Oh.
Wow.
Oh. Whoa. Wait.
Bernd, ich muss mit dir reden.
Oh, is the guy out front potentially like his... Oh, okay.
Dinge, die lohnt es sich zu wissen, und es gibt Dinge, die lohnt es sich nicht zu wissen, weil man sie ohnehin nicht ändern kann.
Nice framing there to show us his wheelchair. Nice.
Das geht seit 3 Monaten so.
Weißt du, was sich seit Tschernobyl verändert hat? Die Leute haben das Vertrauen verloren in uns, in die Kernenergie. Die haben die Bilder gesehen. Das geht nicht mehr aus ihren Köpfen raus. Aber Angst ist der schlimmste Feind.
Right, nuclear power is incredibly safe, like, and environmentally friendly, like now compared to coal and...
Haben 612 Angestellte, exklusive...
Alle. Und wenn du morgen diesen Posten hier antrittst, trägst du nicht nur die Verantwortung für das AKW, dann trägst du auch die Verantwortung für die...
Dang. Yeah, this town basically exists because of the plant, yeah.
Wollte ich umso mehr wissen, was das zu bedeuten hat.
Cool. Yeah. Without the bullshit, what's the actual situation?
And here's our soon-to-be investigator.
Wow.
Yeah, cool.
Okay.
Sind Dämonen vergiftet worden?
Kaum. Alles deutet auf plötzlichen Herztod hin.
Herztod?
Whoa. Something shocked them.
Yeah.
Für Schafe. Sind eben echte Sens...
Oh, okay. So birds and sheep would be along the same lines as there. Okay.
Auslösen?
Alles Mögliche.
Auch ein Mensch?
Ein einzelner Mensch?
No.
Solange er nicht Freddy Krüger ist.
Mit Satanisten aus?
Du glaubst, das waren Satanisten? Soweit ich weiß, machen die dann ziemlich großes Brimborium raus. Da müsstest du doch Spuren sehen auf der Wiese.
Oh, wait.
What's that?
What's wrong with the brain? What's wrong with the brain?
Trommelfelle sind geplatzt.
Oh, same thing.
Kommst du am Wochenende zu unserer Party? Meine Frau mag diese jugoslawischen Hackfleischdinger. Sau scharf. Aber auch sau lecker.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, some kind of frequency basically just went out. Just.
Oh, sure. Yeah, because if it's... Right, if nobody else heard it,
right.
Then... I love that we're getting this perspective. This could...
Was wir wissen, ist ein Tropfen. Was wir nicht wissen.
It's an ocean. Yeah, yeah. I was like, all right, I know exactly where this is going, yeah.
Also addressing the thing of like, hey, the answers you get here are not going to be all the answers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so is she going into the cave? Only reason I can think that she'd need a light.
Yeah.
Like that.
No way.
All right. In heels.
Ridiculous. Just, casual CEO.
Yeah.
First day on the job stuff.
Right.
Nicht nach Hause.
God, it's like drumming it into his head.
Wenn was
You
passiert ist zu Hause.
You're alone. You can't
Right.
get away from this.
And
Nobody
they're
believes
trying
you.
to connect. They're like
Right.
they're thinking like, okay, what's the situation? Hey, that's good at least. If you can stay at the hospital.
Yeah.
Wenn du reden willst, ich bin da.
Okay.
But the scary thing is they'll eventually put him into like a mental hospital or something, and then
Sure.
Erst was zu lesen.
it's also.
Oh shit.
Dang it.
Aus der Zukunft.
Oh well.
Okay. What?
Waste.
Yeah, but why is it set up like it's a wall? Is that just where they're storing everything, or?
Well, now the sound actually makes it feel like it's the reverberation against those metal like barrels, but that could just again be a aesthetic thing for the terror and
Okay.
uneasiness.
Hallo, hier ist Mama. Wenn du das abhörst, dann mach dir doch eine Pizza warm. Ich komme später, ich habe noch was zu erledigen.
Yep, nothing else.
Oh,
Well, shit.
all right. Where'd your hunch take you? What
Yeah.
do you got cooking here? This is so fun. We're completely in the past. We have not
we haven't gone
had
back to the present.
any stuff in the future present.
Because we effectively have a whole new show to introduce.
Yeah, we do. Whoa. Yeah.
That would scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, that guy's made of stern stuff to not freak out. Here they come. He's already a little superstitious of a person, so like...
Oh, yeah. Oh. She's found several. Yep, and this is when he leaves. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Going back to the cave. Thinking maybe it can send him back.
Uh-huh. So is he gonna bump into our CEO?
Maybe. Oh, right, and you have the lighter. Okay, cool. Light source.
Alles neu beginnt. Was würdest du dir wünschen?
Ganz klar. Eine Welt ohne Winden.
Wow. So
edgy.
edgy.
Yeah.
Auf eine Welt ohne Winden.
Auf eine Welt ohne Winden.
Aw, world's normal.
Well, shit.
Aber Winden will nicht so einfach weg.
Na, vielleicht beim...
Maybe next time. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. And doing this basically where you have characters that we've all seen older, like showing up again here as younger with all of them, like all their dialogue basically. Yep. This is fun. Fun. Yeah, what's the book? A Journey Through Time. Oh.
Nice.
Whoa. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
It's so cool to think that you would basically like cast
Right.
people in such a way that you would have them basically have like a younger doppelganger of sorts,
Right.
you know?
Yeah, that must have been pretty crazy to set up.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many other things you can do to help it along, but...
For sure.
Okay.
No, not over.
All right.
Oh,
All
right.
right, what's going to be our stinger? Just going to go to town on the door yourself?
Mm-hmm. He's getting in one way or another. Meanwhile.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, definitely keep an eye on the ground.
Exactly why you...
Shit. Oh, fuck. That's bad. That's not good.
Yeah.
Should have brought a blowtorch.
Oh, the sound is... Oh my god.
No! No! Are you kidding? So we've got portal stuff.
Well, obviously, but it's just the thing of like where and how does it like does it connect?
Yeah, because I guess this is timed up with when all the weird stuff is happening outside, so it might be something that they're instigating. It doesn't have to always be open.
Right. Cool.
And that also would explain why the person comes out at this specific time. Wow.
$11.5, November 5th. That's fun.
Oh.
Oh,
is he making the machine that he... Yeah. That, okay.
This is the author, A Journey Through Time.
All right, cool. Okay, some more teases. More like we're getting stuff, but not. That's so crazy that. So,
all right, update our apps to episode 3, boys. Let's go.
Most, media, they'd have like young or old after the name, not a year.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it might not just be young and old. There might be 3 different times.
Oh,
okay,
my
that's episode
God.
3.
That's episode 3.
I like it.
All of it in the past. All of it in 86.
I really like that decision.
This is exciting.
I like that we get to see Mikkel like trying to figure everything out. But again, he's a kid, right?
He's a kid.
And so, okay. But this was definitely a more slow burn kind of episode than I was expecting.
Yeah.
And I like the decision for that.
Mm-hmm. Because we have to establish it, basically, like you were saying, a whole
Yeah.
other show.
Right.
We are in 86, and 86 is not just relevant to the grand overall story. There's things here that were revealed that are really interesting.
Like, it's... With this episode, I feel like I'm especially starting to understand why there's an app for, like, hey, help you keep track of everything. Because we don't just have, like, plots and subplots with the show as a whole.
Yeah.
We have plots and subplots within each point in time.
Yeah.
So, okay. All right. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
One
thing I will say is that this show seems to be masterfully directed and edited. I am really enjoying the way in which it flows from one scene to the other, given how many characters we have to follow and how many things we have to kind of give us kind of the effect of like almost the consequences of those choices, like with every bit of stuff that gets added in here. So like first things first, this town is twisted and messed up in the way that everyone's kind of brokenness cascades on each other here. We have a lot of families basically that have not just secrets, but I would call almost just literal skeletons in the closet here.
Sure.
And we have the power plant as kind of the fulcrum of it all. We see the repetition of the mass deaths of animals caused primarily the same way that what happened to the boy in the present, the birds in the present. And it's a fun thing to ground us in this is happening constantly and it's the one thing that we can be certain of. It's caused by the power plant and thus the power plant's connection to the time travel.
Because the big thing that I was expecting that we'd have with when we got back to this time is that it would be before the brother disappeared, right? And it's not that.
Nope.
And so the fact that we still have the animals dying and everything, I think that's really good because that's where we can have the characters still having that kind of like something's not quite right.
Yeah.
And then also having it be in parallel with the things that are happening in the present, which is just cool and also makes it so that the show can actually move things along at a pretty clip pace, even though it's doing the slow burn thing because it's not needing to introduce anything that's like fundamentally different, right? It can kind of be like, hey, this is the same sort of things that you're seeing now. Let's see how they're handling in different ways. Awesome.
Right. So this brings up the point that the show is very much, I would say, almost screaming at us from a foreshadowing angle of who here in the episode is Mads. Mads has gone back. Mads had the exact same thing happen that happened to Mikkel.
Sure. So
the story is basically saying there's another story beneath the story that was beneath the story.
Okay.
So if 2019 is our beginning point, 1986 is probably one of like the pivotal points in the timeline. There's at least one more point that's even before this.
Oh, that's actually Okay, so that's actually a good point. So,
because remember, we have the oldest guy here, the Doppler guy, Charlotte's father, I believe. Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But something I want to point out. So, I was thinking...
father-in-law, that's right.
That the guy who shows up with the device in the future, in 2019, that he's Mikkel. There's the possibility that that's actually Mads.
Sure.
And that Mads basically got sent back in time, right? Grows up all the way to the point where he's like, all right, it's going to happen again. Although I guess, no, he wouldn't need to go back in time because he went there the long way. Okay, never mind. I was going to say that maybe he went through to try and undo things, and then he ended up just
I would love to talk
the
about the device and the actual potential of, there being a person that's trying to get the info out there in a very quiet way that, hey, time travel exists through their book or what have you.
Yeah.
But can we pull back a little bit on that before we jump
Sure.
into that here? I think that the part that is most mysterious here is that Mads and his disappearance feels eerily, and I mean eerily similar in almost every single way to what happened with Mikkel. Even though we didn't actually get the exact instance of it, it's a child, 12 years old, from the same family. Get that? Literally a generation before. Same family.
Right.
Same kind of cycle here, having happened 33 years when 33 sheep die on
I didn't
the farm.
even... How did I not make that
You're not
connection
seeing
that that
all
was the
the
same number of
creepy
sheep?
symbolism and
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
here?
yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay.
So this is all happening, right? This is, in my opinion, just a little bit of... It's too weird to be anything but a coincidence, in my opinion. But the part that is just really bugging me is that if we now have Mikkel off on his own, going to just go about and live his life in 1986.
Yeah.
That means that he exists in, 2019. Most likely. Now, that might just be him in the, cloaked, coat and everything. And that's kind of the most obvious thing that we've gotten thus far here.
I think Mads is Helga.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
okay, so
therefore, if Mads went back before 1986,
right, and now he's an old
be,
man in the present.
Yeah, he would be old.
Right.
And Helga was the one that was basically coming and saying it's going to happen again. It's going to happen again.
But something else that I want to write, which totally makes sense. But could you go to the part where we have the person that's building the device?
Oh, at the very end.
Yeah, because I want to see who that is.
When they show all the clocks at 11:05.
Right. Do we not actually see their face? Is it just from behind?
No. We see their face here.
Okay.
Because I think they're the same person that was in the picture for the author of the book. So let me show you here with Charlotte here. When we show... sorry, not Charlotte.
Claudia.
Claudia, thank you.
Yeah.
When Claudia... looks at the book.
Okay,
yeah,
that's
the same person.
All right.
H.G. Tenna
something.
Yeah. They say
it almost looks similar to Tiedemann, but it is different. It is very different.
No, it's like Tenna something.
Yeah. Okay. So maybe the more obvious answer then is that's Mads.
Potentially.
And so that's why he wrote the book, because
Ten House.
Okay. Yeah. So the reason why I think if this guy's Mads, it's fairly obvious. He gets sent back in time, nobody believes him, and so he writes a book about time travel and all that stuff, right?
This is somebody that basically is from any point in the future.
Right.
But they are somebody that lived basically a large period of time where they could then build the H.G. Tannhaus, yeah.
Right. So then if it's Helga, my reasoning for why it would be Helga is two things. One, they're the crazy person in the present, which would make sense, right? If nobody, you talk to a nurse and they're like, oh, they clearly aren't believing you.
A nurse
and all
from
that stuff.
potentially a while ago, too.
Right, exactly.
Like way before 86, because then... they're, people are a little bit more ignorant with regards to, how to handle, people saying strange stuff.
Mads, not Mikkel.
Right.
But then also, then it could be something where, since we're seeing what's happening with Mikkel, we have an idea for what might have happened then with another kid around his age.
Exactly. Right.
And
Mikkel
so
is the framework. That's why he solves the Rubik's Cube. He's
Exactly.
basically saying, hey, viewer, I'm the answer to the puzzle.
Right.
If you want to figure it out, you have to use me as a framework.
Right.
Use me as the code.
He wore a skeleton suit and then he died, right? And, all that. But also, we have the son of a person who runs the power plant that is then doing a very, mundane job at the place and then congratulating Claudia that she got the job. Now,
he's probably just got a job there so that he's able to be taken care of.
Right, but what that says to me maybe, now maybe it's that Bernd is actually just very good at not doing the what's it thing where you set up your family or whatever, right?
Nepotism.
Nepotism, right? He's very anti-nepotism in a way that's very admirable and all that stuff.
Right, he gave him an interview, but he only got an entry-level job,
Or maybe he's adopted. He's not his actual son, and it's I get you I get you a job and we help take care of you and all that stuff. But it's not the same kind of you will be my heir kind of thing, right?
And that's because he's
adopted,
traveler.
and that's maybe because he's a time traveler, and that's why he's then oh, awesome.
I'm trying to give the hints to
people. Right?
Yeah.
And so I find this book. I might not be the author of it, and maybe the author is then another person that had something happen or whatever.
I'm with you.
Right?
I'm with you 100%. The ways in which this story seems to be setting up that it's not just Mads and Mikkel. No, there are many people that have gone back. Right. And it's more just a question of, at this point, who are the people that basically all think they have a dark secret, basically, in their family. And yes. And if they were just actually talking to each other, they'd figure out that there's there's all kinds of loopy stuff here.
Oh,
I also wanted to bring this up specifically because the way that they showed the connection between Regina Tiedemann from 1986 to Regina Tiedemann of now, just from the genetics side of things, I just wanted to bring this up here, is that Franziska, Charlotte's daughter, looks eerily similar to the look we had of Regina Tiedemann.
Right.
And the idea that if there's some, people going back in time having kids.
Right. Is there a point where in the future Franziska gets sent back way far and then ends up No.
I'm talking about having kids. I'm talking about just the nature of if you have people that
No, that's what I'm talking about.
Having the grandfather paradox.
Yeah, exactly. And then that's why because clearly even if you did have time travel stuff, Franziska could not turn into Claudia or
of course
Regina.
not. I'm not saying she is.
Right.
I'm saying that she's just genetically related to them.
Exactly. And that's what I was trying to get at, is that you get sent back far enough and then you end up having kids and then, they end up looking kind of like you, right?
Right.
One of the other things that I wanted to point out as far as a potential thing for Helga being Mads is that with Peter being the one who killed himself at the beginning of the show, right? And having all of this crazy imagery and stuff.
Right.
Well, where did he get that info? Right? He's yes, his grandpa, I guess, was at one point, the overseer of the power plant.
Oh my God.
But if it's something where his dad was actually somebody that did time travel and maybe he asked, let's talk to my crazy dad to see what he has to say, and that'll inspire me as an artist. But then it's also wait, no, this, oh God, this is you stare in the abyss too long kind of a thing, right?
Yeah. I just clicked with it. I just clicked with it.
Yeah.
Claudia and Tronte had an affair.
Right.
Tronte and Jana Nielsen are the parents of Mads and Ulrich.
Right.
Genetically linking, potentially,
Ulrich,
Claudia to Mads. And then if Mads is Helga...
Oh my God.
Then it ties all the way back into that, and Franziska is then genetically linked
Yeah. Okay.
To then Claudia by extension.
Okay, because I was gonna say this the family lines and stuff, and with the affairs and everything.
Yeah.
This feels very, not in a literal way, but incestuous.
Incestuous,
right?
yes.
You know, where it's like
does.
the genetics are all mixed up, right? Yes. And so I think you cracked it. Yeah.
I was like,
because the fact that they're having the affairs and stuff as well, it's like, okay, what are you cooking? So okay, so
because that's an old thing. That's the showing that Tranta and her had.
Right. So Claudia and Tranta, they have Mads. And then
Mads ends up going and getting lost in time.
Right.
Goes back,
Helga,
becomes Helga.
And then
has basically
Francisca as a granddaughter.
Has Francisca as a granddaughter.
All right. Awesome.
Fuck, man.
Awesome. Fantastic.
I
love it.
I am so glad we're watching this show. This is so nuts. This is absolutely.
The thing is,
absolutely fucking wild.
So okay. Usually, I'm gonna give you a little bit of a peek behind the curtain. We usually try not to go too many layers deep on like theories with discussions because it's not helpful.
It's
right?
not.
It's not.
It's not.
For most shows, that's not helpful.
Right. For this
show, one specifically,
it might literally be the most helpful thing you can do.
And they literally have a guide so that it's like to keep you that bit grounded so you can know all the variables. Because that's where like, you know, things get real tough. As if we have some crazy cracked theory, but we
we're
actually
losing track of the variables.
Right, like we have a fact wrong that's like, oh, that's a cool theory, but it's not actually attached to the show, right? You know,
right? Because I was getting basically the grandfather paradox vibe from just the image at the beginning when they showed all the pictures of people at different ages, and then all the things connected together.
Once you bring up time travel, and especially time travel in the 80s, the grandfather paradox is on everyone's mind.
Everyone's mind.
Right?
Anybody that's watched any amount of media goes like, oh, so what happens if you have sex with your mom and you create yourself? You know?
Right, exactly. And it's like well, in order to make sure that doesn't happen. But what if you got sent back really far?
Really far.
And
so you're
know.
your own grandfather.
Right. And if your kids end up having affairs and they don't know that they're, you know, right? And
wait,
can you imagine being a matchmaker as someone who time traveled and nobody believes you time traveled? Okay, fine. You're like, no. Don't date that person.
This gets even crazier because Hannah and Ulrich had an affair.
Yeah, okay,
right?
wait. Is this going to be full Ouroboros infinite loop?
Yeah, I think so.
Wait.
That's where this is all. Look, I mean, like,
okay, so no, but we don't know anything about Hannah's parents.
So hold on here.
But that is good job with the.
So Jonas specifically is getting weird dreams, right?
Yes.
What if they're fucky memories?
Wait, hang on. Oh no, I got some things wrong. I'm sorry. I was talking about Peter Doppler as if he was the one who killed himself. No, he's the therapist, and Michael is the one that killed himself.
Yes, Michael's the one that killed himself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Michael is a time traveler.
Or has close connection to something like that. Yeah.
Well, okay. Here's the
if
part.
He is a time traveler. Oh, if he's Mikkel.
Well, no.
Oh my God! And that would mean that he got with the person who's not related to anybody else. He got with Hannah, and so then, because then he would wait.
Okay,
right, because Mikkel. Right. Oh, also, okay. All right, this is cheeky. If he's Mikkel, they put Michael and Mikkel.
Oh
my God! And they put them right next to each other on the fucking diagram.
Well, I mean, okay, so the reason
it's
why
like they're telling us.
No, they could be, but the reason why Michael is clearly a time traveler is because of the drawings and the stuff and everything, right?
Yeah.
So he went crazy, basically trying to just deal with all of this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Ines, the nurse in the past that had the interaction with Mikkel had a letter that said, I want you to read this and open it at a very specific time.
Yeah. And okay, right. So, and if the way that you do this sort of thing when you get time traveled is you get someone to adopt you.
Yes.
Oh yeah, the nurse okay, right. So he's
Michael. The
Michael.
nurse clearly adopted him.
Yeah, and so he's Michael. All right. So Mikkel is Michael. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
How did it take us this long?
And thus then
Right, and so then Jonas
basically is
the kid of a time traveler.
Right. And is having potential like genetic memories or some kind of stuff of just all this shenanigans.
Also, with everything that's happened here and everything that we've seen of Mikhail in the past, trying to get everyone to believe him, I absolutely buy then why he killed himself, right? Because all that shit piles up. But then also why the mother, right, who was the nurse who he originally told them from the future. If you end up adopting a kid later where they told you at the very beginning that they were from the future, that's going to be interesting, for one. But then if they end up killing themselves and leaving you a letter saying, open it on this specific day, you're going to listen to that. In almost any other situation, it wouldn't make sense for the parent to actually wait if their kid offed themselves, right? They're like, no, I'm reading that letter right fucking now.
Yeah.
But in that case... Yeah, no. They might be like, okay, yeah, I didn't believe you back then. I will absolutely believe you now.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Bro,
right, we cracked it.
I feel like we've got it. Like
we got it.
It has logic.
Yeah,
It has enough logic. The part that's scary here is it goes deeper.
Well,
it has to go deeper because there's a time before 86 where things, at the very least, had. We can't just keep going back.
Also,
they're just going to run out of story.
All right,
eventually.
and maybe this is something that I don't want to actually think about because then that might change my interpretation of the show. But the fact that they're next to each other, right?
Okay, that's a bit of a stretch. Though.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it's it makes them easy. It makes this app easier if they don't have to change the layout when it's like these characters are actually connected to each other and we don't have a line going all the way around.
No, it's very easy. You just rearrange all the images and stuff.
Sure.
No, I think that it still is very possible that Michael and Mikhail are the same person.
Yeah, that's just
It's just something where it makes sense that Michael is a time traveler. And we don't know that many people that are most likely time travelers other than Mikhail and Mads.
It also simply solves the question of how did he have paintings of the inside of the caves? Why did he, keep
a lot
them
of people,
secret and all that stuff?
No. I totally get that. But I think what we're going to end up kind of figuring out is that a lot of the stuff that we're talking about here, this is like the easy stuff to figure out.
Right, exactly. This is the kind of thing that I'm guessing if they're going to stay in the past, they're going to kind of soft confirm in the next episode because then we actually see maybe Ines continue to be or become the long-term caretaker for Mikhail rather than just I helped you in the hospital.
Or it's when we actually go back to 2019, we'll see a lot of the consequences of the decisions in 1986.
Sure.
But my thing that I'm really, really excited about is that given that Tiedemann continues the connection of the running of the plant or what have you, right?
Wait. Hang on a sec.
Claudia Tiedemann.
I think I don't want to interrupt what you're saying, but I think I just pointed at a very big problem with our whole affair birthing theory.
What's that?
If Tronte and Claudia have an affair that then causes them to have a kid. Oh wait, no. And then we were saying that was Regina. Yeah, no, that wouldn't make Mads because Yana would have had to have given birth to Mads because Tronte isn't the one that's giving birth. So
what? Why?
So okay. Our theory, our thing about if Mads is actually the secret love child of Claudia and Tronte, that would have meant that Claudia gave birth to Mads.
Yes. That they could just have a secret love child. What is?
Oh, okay.
What does that have to do with anything?
And then Yana, because she knew of the affair, she also is like, okay, we're raising this kid, I guess. And it was the 80s, and so he
just comes into their relationship with the kid. All we show in the 86 is that they're sleeping together. That doesn't mean that they're married yet. That doesn't mean that they have some kind of.
Oh right, no, and he was even trying to. Yeah, no, he was even bringing up the kid.
Yeah, he was even trying to be a little bit like, hey, I've got
the kid. Yeah. Okay.
Let's go back to that scene. Exactly,
no, that's actually that'll clear up a lot of stuff.
Yeah. If anything, we do show that he is.
Oh wait, right. This is a show that's in German. It has subtitles, so we don't.
Yeah, we don't need that. No, if anything, we show that he has his ring on the right hand, but he doesn't have a ring on his...
Right hand is married, right?
No,
and left
no.
is engaged?
I'm literally married.
Oh, right. Okay, yeah.
Left hand is married.
So he's... Right, okay, so he's engaged.
Right. So, like an interview, yeah? Yeah, I have no time for this today. I miss you.
Right, so
I'm
they're
talking about
exes.
this. Can't leave me hanging like this. I'm going stir crazy at home.
Yana loses it more and more.
Yeah. Basically showing that they're in a relationship at the very least, but they're not necessarily married or what have you.
Okay, yeah, so he wasn't bringing up a kid. He was bringing up his current partner.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, but it'd be very easy for them to have had a... because
they're exes and they keep doing things on the side.
But remember, Mads is 12 right now. This would have happened then
a long
12
time ago.
years
Yeah,
ago.
yeah.
So it's not something that's out of the blue to have a
especially
kid.
if he's engaged now. This would have been before that
It would
relationship.
be long before Yana and everything.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
No, I think it's still very much on the table, but it requires us to literally think a little bit kooky and crazy to cook it all up.
Nope, I like it.
But I want to bring up this scene here. So we have a new old person in here in the Doppler burned.
Right, burned.
The current head of the power
plant.
Of the power plant, yeah.
We've got some pictures. Yep.
And I just want to bring up that they specifically drew attention to the child here, which we then, by approximation, by the stuff that they've showed us here, have got a very clear look at who would end up being Helga.
Right.
Helga is the old man who basically ended up having this is all happening again,
Right.
If that is Mads, one of the things that we have very clearly kind of, I think, hinted at here is that the woman in this photo is not in the picture anymore as far as the family or what have you.
Correct.
Now,
and that could be that she died because he's very old in the 1986 time, No,
totally.
Yeah.
But he's not that old. He's not like ancient. He's
and she does look younger than him.
She definitely looks younger than him.
Yeah.
So she's potentially a mystery reveal. I'm pretty excited about that.
We could get into when we go back into the earliest timeline. Yeah.
Right.
Or
but if
time.
this is Mads, in terms of the look,
I might be call me crazy, but I feel like I kind of see it. Where,
I can see the look.
If you just completely changed the hair and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And also doesn't look very happy there. Granted, this is a serious photo.
No, it's a very serious photo.
But
he kind of has this look of these two photos here.
Yeah.
Then he basically takes the photos,
and
he separates them,
and is comparing them. And this is a photo of just the
boy,
Helga, just Helga.
Yeah.
Right, and so he's looking at an old photo of his wife and kid. Yeah, and then he looks at the photo of just him and his kid, and the kid's all grown up.
Right.
Yep.
And it's an emotional thing because you can tell that he's connecting in a lot of the ways family to his position here in the power plant.
Okay.
And when he talks to Claudia, he brings up the whole thing of you're not just taking over the power plant.
Right. It's not just the employees.
You are running the town.
Yeah.
What I hear in that is that there is a burden of knowledge, of control, of power here. And that this old man, this guy here, who effectively in the story, other than the police officer, is the oldest character we've been introduced to thus far.
Correct.
He is what would that be? A fourth generation from the 2019 crew.
Yes, depending on whether you're counting from the kids or the adults.
I'm counting from the kids. Yeah, so he'd be fourth. He'd be the great grandfather of Franziska, for instance.
Correct.
Yeah. So he then is the one that basically educates Claudia on what we know is a drop.
Yeah.
But what we don't know is an ocean.
Yeah. And
he then knows, by extension, about the stuff. And if he adopted a time-traveling kid, that would explain part of the reason why he knows some stuff.
Yeah, okay. And so one of the other things that I want to get into here, right, that I think is very important, even though we don't know a lot of the details about it, right, going into the drop side of things.
Right.
Oh, yeah, and if he adopted... Oh, yeah, that also... Now, that does get into some weird paradox stuff with regards to work being done at the plant.
Yes.
Because if it's also being educated by somebody who adopted a time traveler, then...
No, I know. Again, we're in grandfather paradox territory either way. Yeah.
But...
or incestuous territory.
Yeah, right. But one of the things that was established in this one with the Mikkel calls out for help and Ulrich hears him for a bit.
Yeah.
That by itself is huge as far as the implications of how the time travel works.
Right.
Because when I
it's tied to the caves.
Yeah, exactly. But it's tied to the caves, not necessarily to the power plant. When I think of the kid that went missing, I forget his name, Eric or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
He's in a whole room. It's a sterile facility. He's strapped to a chair and there's a scary eye thing over him. That is a very clinical kind of experimentation that's going on.
Right.
That makes sense. But that is not the kind of thing that would lead to, oh, I call out for help and someone else that's nearby in a different time hears it. Right? That's the time muckery stuff, portal or whatever, is actually like happening around this location and here rather than in some,
lab or
centrifuge in the,
Again,
right?
Yeah, again, that goes into the weird territory of we can't really explain that. But I like that you're getting at the idea that the time travel is not controlled.
Right.
Which
ties to the drop ocean thing.
But then it does bring up the question of, well, then what's the thing that this Journey Through Time author is making that then is in the hands of our hooded fellow walking around in 2019?
Yeah, which also, okay, if Michael is Mikkel, then who the hell's this guy? Right? That suddenly becomes a mystery.
Right. We've got a lot that's very scary and weird right now.
Right. And as far as the device, even if we don't know exactly what it is or how it works,
it does feel like it's being implied that it's...
The implication, is that it's something that this person who's in the know about the time travel uses in a clock-like kind of way, which is effectively, a clock is a way to keep your time organized. And so if you have time travel, that could get a lot more complicated. And so this could be just a way to keep track of all the timelines. This could be something
to keep track of different events that are going to happen. And
exactly.
Are lining things up.
It theoretically could also be a way to communicate across time. I think that's a lot less likely.
I think that's very less likely. Yeah.
But as far as the all you
have to do is just write letters and just post them to certain places at certain times.
But if you wanted to do there's going to be the barrier between points in time is going to be pretty thin here at this point, then you'd probably need something like that to keep track of it all.
Right. And I like the idea of then it's more of a tracking device for managing the timelines, not necessarily about traveling through time itself. Because I think the way this story is just going to get more enjoyable for us is that it's not that the time travel starts to make more sense as to how they jump or what have you, but it's going to be the ways in which the characters react properly to being put into these situations, being put into this knowledge, and what they use it for.
Something else that I'm going to put out there that might sound like splitting hairs, but most of the time with time travel shows, the way that you make it not be completely explode, right, is to make the show be about time travel. I don't think this is a show about time travel. I think this is a show about time.
Yeah.
And that's what it's getting at. So it's not going to be about the characters developing some mastery over the travel through time, but rather coming to understand this thing that is unknowable as they then experience
what their drop
time
in the
travel.
ocean is.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so
it's an identity thing of okay, who am I in the midst of this sea of noise and all kinds of craziness.
Yeah, and so then that's what the device is, right? That's the everything.
It does make sense that it would be more along those lines, yeah.
And then that's also where it becomes that fun, even though this is a fictional story with fictional characters, right? It being a theoretical exploration of time could theoretically work like this. Or rather, because we believe that time works like this, if this one weird thing happened, if there was a semi-wormhole or whatever, right, in an area that happened for reasons, who knows, right? then all this crazy stuff could take place, as opposed to the usual thing of, and then a miracle happens and we have a time machine and now the story happens, right? Mm-hmm. We have a microwave that gets struck by lightning or something, plutonium, right? There's never really a good explanation for why the time travel happens. It's just you get to a point where you have it, and now what do we do with it, right? Whereas in this case, it's no, we did not make the time travel. We just chanced upon it.
Right, and that's why I think they chose the nuclear power plant for the story here, is it's a thing of, no, we were just doing things with, energy and progress and stuff, and hey, people have a nice, lovely connection in their mind between, splitting of atoms and, time-related stuff in general.
Sure.
You're breaking reality
in
a fun way. But, okay, all cooking aside here, I'm really liking the characters here.
Yes.
A lot of them seem to have this very deep-set care for the town and the people in it, to the point that the one character who's apathetic is actually the one that's kind of the main character in the 2019 present.
Oh, Ulrich. Yeah.
And I like that.
Wishing the town would disappear.
Well, right, but I like that arc that we've clearly set for Ulrich here, is the way in which he'll become the most invested in...
He's the guard dog.
Yeah, in protecting the town, exactly. Yep. And that through line carries over to... Senior Doppler, basically, here, which I just love that as a last name in a time travel show. It's hilarious as far as puns go.
Right.
But having him basically lay this burden at Claudia's feet of, like, you don't understand. You are protecting and guarding something.
Yeah.
And so if this is a show about time travel, one of the things that can be made arbitrary is conflict, because time travel solves all conflicts.
Yep.
But no, what if you're right, Jacob, and that this is a show about time, and the conflict is actually about how you maintain this from not exploding? And it's that the deadline is basically the power plant getting shut off.
Yeah.
In that if you keep having things loop, spiral out, set up in such a way that things keep happening, and you actually need to find a way to make this all stable. That there's no loose ends connecting out into other stuff that will, get to the rest of the world. And
given that we're... Hang on. I'm trying to... So, okay, with the whole grandfather paradox thing, does it matter whether you're talking about... multiple timelines or whether you're dealing with a single timeline?
It really does, yeah.
Yeah, right.
The grandfather paradox doesn't exist in multiple timelines.
Right.
Because you kill the future the second you go back into the past.
Right, or you just go onto a different timeline where it's like, all right, cool, that's
what
how
I'm saying.
You
kill it by going onto a different timeline.
Right.
Yeah. So this has to be a singular timeline. Like it absolutely is 100% confirmed at this point.
But given that, then
astonished if it's not. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, theoretically, as long as they don't traverse between the different timelines, it doesn't necessarily matter, right? The one that we're watching is just a certain, iteration or something.
Yeah, okay.
But
fine.
Then with regards to the grandfather paradox, what does that tell us then about how, when eventually we get the full picture, about how this effectively starts?
Well, it starts basically with... Okay, so if we go back to the very first episode... It starts with someone realizing that despair is the only choice, and they kill themselves.
Right. And if you have the whole static timeline, it is this way because it's always that way and all that stuff. That totally makes sense. But then where does the story end?
Right. The point that I would basically say is kind of the conflict then is to hope.
Right.
Is to basically hope that we can live lives free of this.
Okay.
That probably is what leads to the power plant being shut down, to basically close off the time travel and seal this as a dark, terrifying, multi-generational...
There's a weird cave where there's some wormhole time, overlap shenanigans, and we just bury the cave and just don't deal with it again.
We dream of a time without Winden. We dream of a place where this town goes away.
Okay.
And it's basically the dark history. You know?
Because normally with time travel shows, right, if you have some kind of loop thing or, all of this has happened before, it'll happen again, then the story is about okay, and so this is the one where they figure out how to get it to work, right? This is,
But that's again talking about changing things. That's a changing.
No, even if
story.
it's just we avoid the time muckery stuff because it's in this proximal location and just make the town go away.
Proximal when location.
Right, yeah, all of that stuff. Then we just go somewhere else and ignore it.
Right,
that is
which
still
then-
a way to
No,
effectively
totally.
resolve it, right?
Yeah, it could be, yeah. But I do feel like the end is basically what they've already stated in the beginning of the show, and that's why it's the time is not linear, time is,
Right, exactly.
an eternal, strange, whatever. But that's where the factory shuts down, the production nuclear power plant shuts down. We have someone who's basically figured it out, killing themselves.
Right.
We have basically the ingredients for what could be the end of this town and the end of everything here. And thus we have all this apocalyptic imagery, all this stuff that gets us in the theme of things coming to an end. But if we're in a time situation here, the end is simply the beginning, and the beginning is simply the end. So we have just got to have the hope that they can break out of the loop, that they can break out of the cycle, that they can not have another 12-year-old kid disappear 33 years from now.
Right, and that's where this show made a very smart choice in not having it be an actual time loop.
Well, it's not yet.
It's not an infinite time loop. There are some ways in which sometimes people loop, but time still moves at a the way that it does.
The show asks the question, though. Does it?
Well, no, it moves. What direction it moves?
No. We move.
Well, okay,
we move. Through time.
We move through time.
Yeah,
but
time doesn't necessarily move.
But it's the what's the next bad thing that's going to happen that will rhyme with the things in the past because of the same sort of instigating factor, but it will not be a wholesale restart.
Well, the reason why is because the nuclear power plant came to be at some point. You see what I'm saying?
No, right. But there's also the question of whether the nuclear power plant is actually making it happen.
No. Let's
tapping into it.
Yeah, exactly. Let's forget the how did the time travel begin thing.
Okay.
All that we have to go on is that the caves are weird. The power plant is interacting with the caves, and the people that are in the power plant, by being proximally close to the caves, know things about the time travel.
Right.
So, therefore, it doesn't matter what the exact relationship is between these things.
Right.
As far as in the story sense,
when the power plant
connected.
ends, effectively, at least
the story ends.
At least the time stuff that we have experienced thus far. And if it does happen past that, then that will just be something different than what we've experienced.
I can say that with the way this show is set up, there's no way they're going to do that.
I think there could be a single last hurrah kind of the final jump kind of a thing, like after the power plant shuts down. But
to go forward?
I don't know what it would be for, but just generally, I feel like shows that focus on time travel and stuff have all right, we have it end, and then there's the +1.
No, totally. The +1 is you go back and you basically give the letter, and that's it. Like you give like the equivalent of all right, I've seen the end. Here you go.
Right.
This is the
go
the
watch
domino.
Dark. Yeah.
This is the domino effect. Yeah, go watch the show, basically. Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, we've cooked a bit hard on this episode's discussion here. It's deserved, though. The episode gave us so much, and in some ways, by choosing which things to show us, like it felt also very limited in what they showed us this episode, given that this is the one directly following the first instance of the time travel being shown in the show.
Right.
It feels like they would have to give like very specific foreshadowing things in this episode.
Well, right. The things
we were,
that are
primed to look for those kinds
right.
of
The things that are not really doesn't exactly go for subtlety when they're like, the Rubik's Cube. The cop can't solve the mystery, right? It's an unsolved Rubik's Cube. Miko comes along. I'll solve the Rubik's Cube. It's like, we get it. Like it's nice. It's cheeky, and I like it. Yeah.
But I'm so excited for this show. It just
Fun
tickles.
stuff.
it just tickles the the noodle in
there
such a
there
fun
are
way.
people I know that's like, oh, they need to watch this show.
They need to watch this. Yeah, I can think of 2 people specifically who are just gonna be like, give me some more of that, you know? Like, oh my gosh, it's so fun.
This is great.
Yeah, y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about other shows in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel. So if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.